Hi golfers, in this video today I'm just going to quickly run through what's in my bag, what club I use, but more importantly why I've chosen to use the certain clubs that are in my bag. So hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea as to what you should be putting in your bag and the reasons why. You have 14 clubs in your bag, you want to make sure that they all have a purpose and you're getting the most out of the clubs that you put in there. So the driver I use is the Ping G410. It's 10.5 degrees of loft and I just have it set on the neutral setting. I also use the LST model. Now the LST model has less spin, so it comes off at about 500 RPMs less per shot than the standard 410. On my ball flight I tend to balloon it up a little bit, I hit down a bit too much with the driver, I tend to spin the ball too much, so by going to the LST model it helps keep that spin down and gives me a little bit of extra distance. When you're bringing the spin down, that also makes those hooks and slices not so big, so you can hit it, one, you hit it further, but two, hit it straighter, which is a pretty good combination to have. Now this driver is extremely forgiving. It's probably not the longest driver on the market, but it's definitely the easiest to hit, and someone like myself who can spray the ball a little bit, it's definitely helped my driving to get the ball in play. The fairway wood that I use is the Ping G410 fairway wood, just a standard 3 wood. Nothing special, it's just an easy to hit, again nice and forgiving. The shafts that I have in both my driver and my fairway are the Kurokage X-Flex shafts. Again, these help me bring the spin down so I don't balloon the ball too high, the wind doesn't affect it, I hit them straighter and further because of that. I've had these same shafts in my last two models of driver and fairway woods. Again, they have a great feel and I really like the feel of them when I hit them, and I love the ball flight that I get out of them when I hit them well. So the irons that I use are the Ping I210s. I use a 3-iron down to pitching wedge in these. Traditionally I've always used a blade club and switched to these about 2 years ago and couldn't believe how much more forgiving they were on off-centre hits. So all of a sudden, if I'd hit one off the toe or the heel, the distance control was so much better than a more traditional, harder to hit set of blades. I've been fitted for red dot. Now Ping do all of their fitting using colour codes, so basically red dot means that the club are bent a degree flatter. Again, you need to hit balls off a lie board. You want the club coming into the ground nice and flat this way, so you don't want it to be heel up or you don't want it to be toe up, and that's where when we do a fitting we can adjust that club to make sure it suits your game. So not only do we look at what shaft type you're using or the length of the club, we look at the lie angle, we look at the total set makeup of your bag, and we also look at the grip size. Again, it's another part of club fitting that's often overlooked. So I have mid-size grips on all my clubs. I tend to have long fingers, so I don't want my hand wrapping around too much, so I use a mid-size grip, makes it a little bit thicker, and that stops me from flicking the ball over too much. And closing that face down where I hit a bit of a hook, so the thicker grip can help with that as well. So it's really important that you make sure you get your irons fitted correctly, because they're going to make it really easy then for you to make a consistent swing and not have to try to manipulate the club to get the ball to go where you want it to.